you've all done this. You probably think, oh, I caught a big fish, but then you realize it's a flying fish. It's up in a tree. So what do? What's the first thing you do? Well, the first thing you don't want to do is start pulling real hard right away. A couple things you want to think about is, well, the first thing is if you pull real hard, real fast, you're probably going to break your rod. Okay, and this is like a bamboo rod, so nobody's going to replace the tip on this one. So I have to be kind of careful about what I'm doing. Now, a couple things that happen, and I'm going to show you a few different ways of taking care of that. The first thing is that when the fly is on a stick, if you catch it up there, if you pull, usually it's wrapped around, and if you pull very slowly, the fly will climb around the stick. If it's wrapped around the stick, okay, let's see if I can do this. See, of course, when you want to do it, it never happens. If you pull quickly, there's a good chance that you're going to get caught on something. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is try to just pull gently. Okay? And it'll usually climb around it. Every so often you're going to get, the other problem is typically when you have something stuck in a tree, if it's stuck, it's going to be stuck like this. So by pulling this way is not going to help. You want it to somehow go backwards. So the first thing you're going to do is try the slow retrieve. If that doesn't work, then the next thing you're going to want to do is a roll cast. And what a roll cast will do is it'll throw the line backwards, disentangle it, and then maybe on the retrieve you'd be able to get it. So let's try that out. Let's see what happens. So first of all, I've got my line up here. It's stuck in the tree. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, I want to say that it's in my driveway right now, but if you're not losing flies, you're not fishing. So the first thing you want to do is say, okay, I'm going to lose 5 or 6 flies today. That's just at a minimum. And because I tie my own flies, they're cheap. That's the least expensive thing I have, okay? I've driven, it probably cost me more in gas than 5 or 6 flies. My rod's not cheap. My reel is cheap. The line, everything else costs you. Don't worry so much about the fly. Another thing you probably don't want to do is if you cast to a really good spot, there's probably fish there. So one of the things that I see a lot of people do is that they'll try to trudge across the river. There's probably a deep hole there. They might drop their rod. They might break their rod in the meantime while they're doing it. It's just not a good thing to do. So you got to figure out how to do some long distance retrievals of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is try the slow retrieve. And let's see, it's not working. These bushy trees typically don't do that. The next thing I'm going to do is try a roll cast. Let's see if that works. Okay, that's not working. So now I have no other choice. So what you want to do is you want to point your rod directly at where the tear is, okay, or where it's hooked. You don't want your rod to be bending any amount. You want the rod to almost be neutral in this situation. And then start to pull the line. You're going to break your line. That's why you have real thin tippet, okay? So you're just going to keep pulling and pulling until you've broken it off. See, and I broke off, and it probably broke right at the tie. Let's see if I can find it. Yep. See, and it broke right at the end of where the fly was tied on. Okay? So that's the first thing. So never, never, never want to pull your rod sideways. You're going to break your rod, okay? And I've seen plenty of people do that. Another kind of retrieve, I'm out of the picture right now, but another kind of retrieve is sometimes you're stuck in the stream itself. And I'm using my driveway as a stream at the moment. And I have a rock over here. And your fly will get caught under a rock, okay? Typically, if you feel it give a lot, it's going to be weeds. If you feel it give a little bit, it's probably, and feel like a fish, it's probably a stick. If it doesn't give at all, it's probably stuck between rocks, okay? And those actually can be pretty good retrieves. Again, it's wedged in between the rocks, so you want to back it out. Well, how do you back it out? Well, the best way to do that is a nice roll cast. Let's see if I can do this. I may have wedged this better than I thought. There we go. And I have that so well wedged in there, I have it really jammed under the rock there, that it's just not going to come out. Again, best way to do this is to point your rod directly at where you're trying to get pulled. I'm going to pull a bit. And let's see, did I get it or not? I'll break it off. Sometimes it'll pull right out, and sometimes not. So there's a couple of flies I just lost. See, there it is. You can see, in fact, it broke at a knot right above that, a wind knot right above that. And that's usually where it's going to end up breaking. So, in conclusion, this is a quickie, but I thought it would be kind of an important one, is we all get our flies stuck somewhere. And the first compulsion is to go and get the fly. Okay, that's probably going to scatter fish for all over the place if you've been trying to be real careful. So sometimes it's just better to break the fly off. And you should be casting in places that are right underneath things, okay? Right underneath the hostas. So you want to, so first of all, you're going to get your fly caught in something. That's the first rule. You just got to assume that. The second thing is if you get it caught, stop. Don't try to pull it out or yank it out right away. Stop, because as soon as you pull back hard, you're probably going to wedge it in even more. And you may even, if you hook the wood, that's it, you're done. So the next thing is stop. Think about where it is. Think about where it is in the water. Think about what it's wrapped around or whatever it happens to be. Then plan your next steps, okay? You might want to pull gently. If you pull gently and it doesn't seem like anything's happening, then the roll cast. You try the roll cast. If that doesn't work, and try it in a couple different directions, okay? And if that doesn't work, then the next step is pulling the line straight. And I can't emphasize how much keeping the rod and the line, keeping the rod out of the deal. Okay? You don't want to use your reel. Don't bother using your reel. Just pull and pull nice and gently. It'll either release or break or something will happen. But at least you're not putting any tension on your rod. Okay? If you put the tension on your rod, these are graphite. If you have a graphite rod, it's meant to be super stiff but flexible. But if you're cranking on the side, the tip will just break right off. It happens every time. So be careful. Get your stuff ready to go. I'm probably going to do another one of these maybe on cleaning your reel. It's about that time of the year where I start putting some of my stuff away. That's it for today. Hope this was somewhat entertaining, and we'll see you later.